Picture this. You've just survived the Costco parking lot. It's less parking and more post-apocalyptic bumper cars. Carts roll like tumbleweeds, SUVs wedge into compact spots, and somewhere a dad in socks and sandals is guiding traffic with hand signals that make absolutely no sense. Inside, it's no less chaotic. Fluorescent lights buzz, toddlers scream because their parents won't buy the 48 pack of cinnamon buns, and somehow you've convinced yourself that owning 3 gallons of olive oil is a rational choice for a family of 3. But then you see it. Past the pallets of soup cans towering like a distant skyscrapers, you spot that glowing food court sign. There it is, the crown jewel, the deal that's outlived recessions, pandemics, and the rise and fall of Blockbuster. The Costco $1.50 hot dog and drink combo. It's cheap, it's reliable, it's iconic. And what if I told you this humble hot dog isn't just food, it's one of the greatest strategy moves in modern business. And it's also delicious. Welcome back to Oddly Strategic, the podcast that extracts powerful business lessons from the quirkiest of places. I'm your host, Mark Peters. Today, we are biting into Costco's most famous product. No, it's not the 24-pack of soup, not the 3-pack of kayaks, not even the rotisserie chicken. Today's star is a hot dog. Specifically, a hot dog and drink combo that's been $1.50 since 1985. Other businesses can't hold a price steady for 6 months. Costco has held this one steady for 4 decades, and they've done it intentionally. Not out of stubbornness, but out of strategy. Because the Costco hot dog is more than lunch. It's a promise, a ritual, a signal of trust, and it may be the cheapest MBA you'll ever buy. So let's rewind to the 1980s when I had a BMX and a thick mane of feathered blonde locks. Co-founders Jim Sinegal and Jeffrey Brotman are running a retail experiment, the Warehouse Club. The concept? Sell fewer items, sell them in bulk, and at the lowest possible prices. Now humor me for a second here. Imagine pitching this business plan at a bank. It would be something like, hey, we want to open a massive, ugly warehouse with terrible parking. The stores will have concrete floors, no decor, harsh fluorescent lighting. People will walk through a maze to buy a gallon of mayonnaise, a car battery, and a kayak. All in one trip. Now here's the kicker. They'll pay us a membership fee for the right to do it. Well, most bankers would have said, that's insane and please leave now. But Costco proved the absurd idea was genius. And right in the middle of that genius sat the food court hot dog. See, in 1985, Costco introduced the $1.50 hot dog and soda combo. Not to make money, but to make a point. It was a symbol. If we can hold this price steady, you can trust everything else we sell. And it worked. When then CEO Craig Jelinek once suggested raising the price, Sinegal famously replied, "If you raise the fucking hot dog price, I will kill you. Figure it out." And so Costco figured it out. They built their own hot dog factories. They vertically integrated their supply chain. They made the hot dog untouchable. And delicious. Have I mentioned that it's delicious? The hot dog became not just a snack, but a legend. And behind that legend lie 4 business lessons. Number 1, anchor pricing. The hot dog as a signal. In psychology, we call it anchor pricing. One highly visible price that sets the tone for how customers perceive everything else. When you see a hot dog is still $1.50, your brain says, they've held the line on this. I can trust their prices on everything else. It becomes a trust anchor. Other brands do this too. IKEA meatballs, for example. They don't profit from the meatballs. They profit from you filling a cart and leaving the store with a great meatball experience. Southwest Airlines. Early $99 fares weren't about revenue, they were about planting affordable in your brain. Costco's hot dog is their handshake of trust. Dad joke break. If trust were a condiment, Costco spreads it thicker than yellow mustard. Number 2. Consistency builds loyalty. The hot dog has cost $1.50 since 1985. To put that in perspective, gas was 89 cents a gallon in the US. Heck, I remember my dad almost having a stroke when gas was over 30 cents a liter in Canada. We Are the World topped the charts, and I was 11 years old getting into my second summer of cutting the lawn at my parents' house. I hated it then. Today, it's a ritual for me. Consistency like this is rare. Prices creep up everywhere else. Streaming services, airline tickets, even junk food, especially junk food. But Costco's hot dog is a constant. Psychologists call this cognitive ease. When something is predictable, our brains relax. That predictability shows trust. Think of McDonald's fries. They taste the same in Winnipeg or in Warsaw. Lego bricks. A 1989 castle turret still clicks into a 2025 spaceship wing. Consistency says you can rely on us even when the world changes. Number 3, own your rituals. Costco's hot dog isn't just a product, it's a ritual. You finish your shopping marathon, then celebrate with a hot dog before loading 100 pounds of groceries into your car. The hot dog is your victory lap. Every time I'm at Costco, I may only be there for 1 or 2 things, but I always take the same route through the store, up and down every aisle. I might not need an electric shaver or a gas generator that day, but darn it, I'm going down those aisles. And usually I find things I had no idea I needed. I even go down the pet food aisle, and I've never owned a pet. Except for that one time when I had a fish tank. I had some African cichlids, and one day I bought a couple of new ones. They weren't cheap, about $17 each, I think. I put them in the tank, and a couple hours later I see one fish eating the other. All I could think was, I didn't have a $17 lunch today. I had a $1.50 Costco hot dog. Anyways, back to Costco. I may only have a couple things on my Costco list, but it's a rare day that I spend less than $300 on a Costco trip. When it's all done, I'm getting my $1.50 hot dog. It's my way of sticking it to the man. I may have dropped $300, and I'm going to have to do some explaining when I get home and my wife sees what things I bought that weren't on the list. I swear we needed a new deep fryer. Doesn't matter, because I won, because I got a cheap hot dog. Have I mentioned how delicious they are? Brands that build rituals become sticky. Starbucks sells the morning coffee run, not just caffeine. Apple sells the ritual of the annual keynote reveal. Disney sells the nightly fireworks ritual, not just rides. Rituals create loyalty. Without them, you're just another store. With them, you're part of someone's life. Number 4, leadership protects the culture. Senegal's "I'll kill you if I raise the hot dog price" isn't just funny, it's leadership. It drew a bright line in the sand. Some things are sacred. Leaders must protect the non-negotiables. If everything's up for compromise, nothing is special. Costco's leaders made it clear. The hot dog is identity. Employees understand that message. The hot dog isn't food, it's brand DNA. Great leaders don't just set strategy, they defend it like the dad guards a thermostat. So what does this mean for the rest of us? Well, let's summarize the 4 points. Anchor pricing. Pick one visible product or service. Hold the line. Make it the symbol of your trustworthiness. Consistency. Choose something your customers can rely on year after year. Guard it fiercely. Rituals. Give your customers habits to repeat. Small traditions that tie them emotionally to your brand. And leadership. Define what's sacred. Draw your line in the sand and don't ever, ever flinch. Let's talk some real life applications with a few hypotheticals here. The coffee shop conundrum. Imagine you run a neighborhood cafe. You're debating whether to raise the price of drip coffee by 50 cents. But drip coffee is your anchor. It's your hot dog. Customers see that price every day on the chalkboard, and it sets their expectations. Instead of raising it, you keep it steady for years. You make up the difference on seasonal lattes, avocado toast, catering orders. Customers begin to think, if this cafe keeps my daily coffee affordable, I can trust them on everything else. Loyalty skyrockets. Maybe you're a SaaS startup. Then there's the SaaS startup's sacred feature. Maybe you've got a project management startup. Competitors are adding flashy AI stickers, neon dashboards, and productivity badges. Meanwhile, your users rely on your lightning-fast Gantt chart load times. That's your hot dog. You resist the temptation to chase trends and instead invest in keeping load times under 2 seconds. Year after year, users trust that when a deadline looms, your tool won't glitch. That consistency becomes your competitive moat. And let's look at a brewery, the brewing ritual. Maybe you run a craft brewery. Instead of just serving beer, you create a Saturday ritual. Every weekend at noon, you tap a single experimental keg and announce it on Instagram. Customers line up, glasses in hand, week after week. It's not about the beer itself, it's about the ritual. Just like Costco's hot dog, it becomes tradition, and traditions drive loyalty. Or maybe you're a consulting firm. You've got a boutique consulting firm. A client asks you to fudge some numbers in a presentation. The extra revenue is tempting, but you've written your non-negotiables manifesto. We never manipulate data. Like Jim Sinegal protecting the hot dog, you protect your brand's integrity. Saying no to that client becomes yes to your culture. Word spreads, you're the firm that won't bend for money. That's your hot dog moment. So here's your homework. Start with the anchor test drill. Pick one product or service you sell. Imagine announcing, this will never go up in price. What happens? Do customers smile in relief or shrug in indifference? If it's the former, you found your hot dog. Do a consistency audit. Review your last 10 customer interactions. Where were you perfectly consistent? Where did you slip? Now ask, would customers trust us the way they trust Costco's hot dog? If the answer is no, fix it. Build a ritual workshop. With your team, brainstorm, what repeatable ritual can we create for customers? Maybe it's a monthly open house. Maybe it's handwritten thank you notes with every order. The key, make it predictable. Rituals are glue. And your leadership line in the sand. Ask your leadership team, what's sacred here? What's our hot dog? Write it down. Frame it. And next time a tough decision comes up, measure it against that line. Your non-negotiables manifesto. Write 3 rules that you'll never break even if it costs you money. That clarity becomes your compass and your story. So just remember, the Costco hot dog isn't just about lunch, it's a symbol. It's anchor pricing in action. It's consistency you can trust. It's a ritual your customers love. And it's a line in the sand that leadership defends fiercely. It's the cheapest and most delicious MBA you'll ever buy, served on a sesame seed bun with a fountain drink on the side. Or, put another way, while most companies nickel and dime, Costco hands you a hot dog and says, hey, we've got your back. Well, that's all for this episode of Oddly Strategic. If you enjoyed today's deep dive into Costco's hot dog, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who loves quirky business stories. And remember, until next time, keep your thinking weird and your strategy sharp. Next time, we're leaving the food court and heading ringside. We'll talk about the Zamboni, the smoothest machine in sports, and what it can teach us about operational rituals and brand consistency. Fun fact, Costco sells more than 100 million hot dogs a year. That's more than all the Major League Baseball parks combined. So technically, Costco is the biggest ballpark in the world.